The Niger State Commissioner for Environment and Climate Change, Yakubu Kolo, still on this, joins me now to look at the damages caused by the flood and what the state government is doing to address the challenges. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the news.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a pleasure. So now let's hear your thoughts. Would you say that the government took immediate actions as regards search and rescue during the flooding?
Yeah, just like the permanent secretary have said, the government took an immediate action. His Excellency, the former governor, ably represented by the deputy governor, rightly swing into action to visit the site and then commiserate with the community. Therefore, the government has on-the-spot assessment of the area and what has happened. We are looking at it, and just like the permanent secretary also mentioned now, we are planning to get back there on Monday to also look at the remnants of what has happened, because the water is now at present receding down.
Okay, now in as much as the water is receding, the permanent secretary did say that a few challenges were actually met while delivering aid. Can you give us an idea of what some of these challenges were?
Some of the challenges are, when this thing happened, the major road between north and south in Mokwa, you go to Lagos, you go to Ibadan, Ilorin, through this route. The major road, this drainage, the river cut across the main highway. So that road was completely cut off. And Niger State is the major route for all these transporters, particularly the trailers. So the trailers block everywhere. So for the people carrying the items, to deliver them was also another problem. There was no route to follow, so there was serious delay before they could get to the point. And this has also impacted on the challenges that we faced during the visit.
All right. Now, what about the fact that, nearly 10 kilometers from Mokwa, bodies were actually found? I asked the permanent secretary this question, but I would also love to hear from you, since it regards the environment. Do you think that there was a failure in early warning systems or even the evacuation planning that it affected so many people and a lot of people had to die?
Well, as you could see in the videos that were posted, the turbulence of the water was very, very terrible, and it was not easy. Could have been easy for anybody to get into that water, but NEMA, NEMA, and all other humanitarian services that are supposed to be there were there, and then they did their best. This thing happened over the night. So before the daybreak, when people started coming, the NEMA people came. Some bodies have already been moved down the stream. So it was not easy. So we have to do with information and then by tracing from the people downstream, be able to inform us and then be able to recover some of these bodies along the river.
Quite a sad incident. Now, the permanent secretary also did say that, this was the first time that flooding of this magnitude was experienced in Niger State. Now, from your assessment, what are the likely root causes that intensified this particular flooding event this year?
Yeah, the likely causes has been identified. We have a railway crossing from Lagos to Kano through Mokwa. And then there was an embankment that was constructed where this rail followed. Over the years, all the flash flooding that came around those areas have been stopped by this embankment, and then creating a kind of a canal, like a dam. But this, because of the activities of farmers and then the environmental destruction up north, which is part of the activity of climate change, has reduced the forests to the barest minimum. So the lands are open because of serious farming activities, and then, you know, our persistent farmers are always, they can't do without bringing down these trees. So the soil is open, and then this flash flood came and then collected so much water over the night, and then pushed down the embankment that the railway line crosses. So that is the major cause of that flooding, because it has never happened, but because of the activities up north towards Ibi, Kainji Dam, this is one of the identifications were made that causes this break and then destruction along this the communities.
All right, so now that you know some of the causes of this flooding, what improvements are being considered to prevent such tragic outcomes, you know, in future? And also, do you have plans to collaborate with other sectors to be able to mitigate future disasters like this?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much. Before now, for the past 2 years, we have a project called ACRISA, Agro-Climatic Resilience for Semi-Arid Land. It's a World Bank project that is in the state. This project has assessed this Mokwa gully, and arrangement has been almost concluded. The ESRA has been done, that is environmental social impact assessment of the area has been done. The RAP has also been done to ensure that the drainage, the gully is properly reconstructed through the support of World Bank. And just last week, the ACRISA, in collaboration with World Bank and Niger State, have just opened the bid to award the contract for the reconstruction of this gully. The gully is about 5.9 kilometers within the city of Mokwa, and all these communities that are affected in this disaster are all living along the gully. So what we are doing now is to ensure that ACRISA concludes the bidding process and then the procurement process, and then award the contract to the winner so that they can resume to site and ensure that the drainage is properly reconstructed with proper walls.
Okay.
So this is what we can do now.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner. We do hope that some of these solutions go a long way at alleviating some of the sufferings of the people of Niger State. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you very much for calling me to be on this platform. Thank you very much.